Jace, can you chalk my back up a little bit more? It's a bit glippery.
Turn around so you can see how much chalk's on before Jake does it. You do not bend anymore.
Nah, chuck it on, bro. More's better.
More is always better.
More is always better. So welcome to the culture today for another video, and following on from the video I did with Jim Alley from Reactive Training Systems about RPE, I'm gonna take you through today my training session and how I work up to my top single at an RPE 8 on 2 count pause squats. So the considerations that I would take when working out the weight is, where am I in the block? So I'm currently week 6 of a 7-week competition block. I'm competing next Saturday. So week 6, so I'm fairly deep in. My competition's next week. Last week I hit a top single at 200 kilos at an RPE 8 and moved really, really well. So, and the weeks prior to this, I've hit 180 in week 1, 190 in week 2, 195 in week 3, then 200 week 4, 200 in week 5, and now we're in week 6. So a couple of things I'm gonna do. I have my plan. Now, this is probably the most important part with RPEs, that you should come in with some sort of plan. So taking into everything I've just considered, my plan is to hit a 180 single, then a 190 single, see where those RPEs are at, and then either go to, I'm planning on 205, but we will consider where I go after I've hit these 2 singles. So the plan can change. That is the the most important thing when auto-regulating is to come in with the plan, but the plan can change. So I'm going to hit 180 now and see how that feels, and then we'll go to 190. So I'm fairly confident in saying that that was probably an RPE 6. I would have had at least another 4 reps there. So taking into consideration where I want to go, pretty happy with that, how that went. I'll now load the bar to 190 as my last warm-up. It's very critical that you treat these warm-up sets with the same level of arousal that you're going to treat your top single. The arousal can have a massive impact on your RPE. If you go into the single with the idea of, this is going to be easy, it's just a warm-up, then it will greatly affect where you can go for your top single. So it's very important you treat these as the same level of arousal and focus as you would for your top single. So going to my second single now before my top single, 190 kilograms. So we call these work-up sets, where we're actually using the previous sets before to gauge where we should be going up to for our top single. Again, I'm going to reiterate, arousal level needs to be high. Don't just go in, because this isn't the actual main top single, don't just go in with the attitude of this is going to be easy. Treat it as if it was your top single. So taking into consideration that set, that felt probably, I'm going to say 3 more reps was definitely there. So it was an RPE 7. Plan was to go 205. I think I'm going to change that now and just go 202 and a half. 9 days out from comp. I don't really see the point now pushing 205. I've taken 200 the last 2 weeks. 202 and a half will be a pause squat PB. I'm going to go on the 2.5 kilo conservative side and take 202 and a half. I am starting to feel the fatigue, being 6 weeks into this comp block. My HRV was actually a little bit lower this morning, which meant I was a little bit more sympathetically driven. So I'm going to go on the conservative side, taking into consideration all those pieces of information. So going in for my top single today, prescribed at an RPE 8 for 2 count pause, decided to go 202 and a half instead of 205. The plan has changed, but anyway, I'm going to try and nail this. Don't stop it. I'm actually gonna go up. I'm gonna go up. So as we said, plans do change. That actually moved way easier than I first anticipated. I'm feeling really good. I'm gonna go to 210 for a top single. Plans do change. This is the beauty of auto-regulation. Huh? Game changer. That felt easy. So I'm gonna go for my top single again because the 202.5 moved a lot better than I first anticipated. Another rule that we have here is the 0.5 range. So if you're prescribed an RPE 8 and your top single falls at either a 7.5 or an 8.5, well, that's what we classify as good enough. It's close enough to the intensity that we want to be working at. However, that 202.5 for me was a 7. It moved well. I'm confident in saying I had 3 more reps. So I didn't actually get to the intensity that I wanted to today. So I'm going up to 210. RPE is about having a plan, but sometimes those plans change. So I'm going to give that top single an 8.5. So I'm more than happy. That's fallen in that 0.5 range that we spoke about. Definitely could have got another rep out there, potentially a third. Not confident in saying the third was there, so I won't give it an 8. I just want to wrap up now with RPE. So the most important point to note is to go in with a plan. You have to go in with a plan. I think people confuse RPE as a free-for-all. It's not a free-for-all. I've taken into consideration how I'm feeling, my sleep last night, my previous weeks of training, and I've devised a plan for today's session, which was 180, 190, 205. Ended up going 202.5 and then to 210. So go in with the plan. Don't get attached to the outcome. The outcome might be better than you first anticipated or worse. Remember, one session doesn't build strength. It's the accumulation of multiple sessions across an extended period of time. So don't get attached to the outcome. The other thing too is if you aren't using a fully RPE-based programming like we do here at Melbourne Strength Culture, and you are on prescribed numbers, practice labeling your top sets with an RPE if it's something that you want to get better at, and be very specific. Don't say that it was about an 8 or an 8.5. Be like, that was an 8.5. I hope you found this video useful on how to prescribe and use RPEs in your training session. I do recommend, if you haven't seen the video I did with Jim Alley from Reactive Training Systems, to go and have a look at that. And again, if you've got any questions on RPE, we're more than happy to answer. If you want to email the page, email us or message our Instagram page. And as always, happy lifting.